Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good day, everyone. Thank you for the chance that given to me so that I can present my paper today. My name is Triwulan and I'm from University of Riau. This paper is arranged by three people. The first one is me, and the second is Mr. Azul Nasir, and the third is Mrs. Rofika. This paper is entitled Factors Affecting Underpricing with Underwriter Reputation as Moderating Variable. We move to the first introduction. I'm sure many people here already know about IPO. IPO, or Initial Public Offering, is a corporate action to obtain funds from the public for the benefit of companies going concern. In the process of conducting IPO, the company will choose underwriter who will connect the company and the capital market and also assist the company in calculating the number of shares to be offered and also the price. The stock prices in secondary market determined by market mechanisms based on demand and supply, and this often occur significantly differences in prices at the time of IPO. These phenomenon are underpricing and overpricing. In this study, we will discuss about underpricing. Underpricing is the condition when the stock price in the secondary market is higher than the stock price in the primary market, and discuss the initial return will be positive. Underpricing is much avoided by the company because this causes the company to not be able to obtain maximum funds. There are 108 companies conducting IPO in IDX from 2016 until 2018, and the level of underpricing that experienced by companies conducting IPO with a total of 100 of 108 companies, or it also means about over 90% companies experience underpricing. One well-known company, Garuda Food, also experienced underpricing with the rate of 49.81%, and this made Garuda Food suffer a loss of at least 640 Indonesian rupiahs per share. Underpricing of IPO is one of the most ambiguous market anomalies related to various factors as well as the underwriter reputation. And the next is theoretical framework and hypothesis development. Information asymmetry theory says the parties related to company do not have the same or balanced information about the prospects and the risks of company. If there is no information asymmetry between the company and the investors, the price of the stock will still be the same as the market price, so that underpricing will not occur. Information asymmetry can be overcome by giving signals to outside the company. The form of a positive signal delivered to the market can be in the form of use qualified underwriter and financial information. In this research, there are 10 hypotheses. The first one, proceeds affect underpricing. The second, earning per share affects underpricing. The third, return on equity affects underpricing. The fourth, financial leverage affects underpricing. The fifth, firm size affects underpricing. In this paper, the researcher suspects that the underwriter can affect the relationship between the independent variable and dependent variable. So the hypotheses are as appear. Next is research method. In this study, we use quantitative methods with a dataset comprising of companies conduct IPO in 2016 until 2018, and samples were selected using a purposive sampling method. The criteria of sampling in this research are company conduct IPO in 2016 until 2018, experience underpricing, also must have published prospectus, and provide all of data for valuables completely. The amount of sample used in this study is 95, and this is our research model. The next is operational definition and variable measurement. The first one is underpricing as appear, and thus proceeds calculated by multiplying the offering price and the number of offering shares, and then earning per share calculated by net profit divided by the number of shares, and then return on equity calculated by net profit divided by equity, and financial leverage calculated by using debt to equity ratio, and firm size calculated by transforming the total assets in natural logarithms, and the last, underwriter reputation measured by ranking the underwriters with value from 0 to 9 based on the total trading value issued by IDX through annual factbook. Next is data analysis. To test the hypothesis in the study using the method of multiple linear regression with the equation as appear, and then to test the interaction variable hypothesis can be done with moderated regression analysis can be seen from the following equation. Next, we move to the result section. As mentioned before, the amount of the sample is 95. However, after the test run, there are some outlier data and we remove it. So this is the descriptive statistic result, and then the normality test result, and after we remove the outlier data, the data is still normal as appear. And then multicollinearity test. Based on the table, the results are obtained that each variable in the study has a tolerance value higher than 0.10 and field value lower than 10. It means the study is free from multicollinearity problem and feasible to use. And then heteroscedasticity test. Based on the Glaser test that has been done, it can be stated that the regression model does not occur heteroscedasticity. And then autocorrelation test. Based on the table, the calculated Durbin-Watson is 2.031, and after count over the Durbin-Watson table, it can be concluded that the regression equation model does not contain autocorrelation problems. Next is coefficient of determination test. Based on the table, the R-square value of 0.496 is obtained, which means that the influence of independent variables on the dependent variable in the study is 49.6%, while the remaining of 50.4% is explained by other variables not examined in the study. Next is F-test. The F-count obtained is 13.931 with a significance of 0.0. The F-count is larger than the F-table of 2.21, means this research is feasible to use. Besides, the significance value is lower than 5% and can be stated that the independent variables simultaneously affect underpricing. And then the t-test. Based on the table, the regression equation model is from data processing, the hypothesis 1 is accepted. Proceeds affect underpricing. Companies that conduct IPO with large offering size tend to reduce the level of underpricing because the company gives a signal that the company requires a large capital and shows the amount of change that will be done by the company in developing its business. And the hypothesis 2 is rejected. Earnings per share does not affect underpricing. EPS is not a variable that affects underpricing because EPS is only information that provides prospects, not a certainty about the acquisition of EPS, and this is not a great signal for investor. And then hypothesis 3 is accepted. Return on equity affects underpricing. Companies that conduct IPO with high ROE tend to reduce the level of underpricing because the company gives a positive signal that the equity has been used properly and optimally. Next, hypothesis 4 is accepted. Financial leverage affects underpricing. Companies who conduct IPO with high DARE give a signal that the company is developing its business activities by borrowing to obtain funds that can support its business activities. This is also a signal that the company still wants to develop even greater business activities by conducting IPO to increase the company's capital. This is a positive signal and can be used to reduce the underpricing rate. And then hypothesis 5 is accepted. Firm size affects underpricing. Companies that have a large firm size in terms of total assets own provide information that strongly illustrates the condition of the company, especially its financial condition. This can reduce information asymmetry to reduce underpricing. Next, hypothesis 6 is accepted. Underwriter reputation affects the relationship between proceeds and underpricing. The underwriter reputation weakens the effect of profit and underpricing. The higher of underwriter reputation will emphasize proceeds to the small size but still good quality and set a volume price close to its fair price so that it will be reduce the level of underpricing. And then hypothesis 7 is rejected. Underwriter reputation does not affect the relationship between earning per share and underpricing because companies that go public by using the service of a reputable underwriter cannot determine EPS based on the agreement between the company and the underwriter. And then the hypothesis 8 is also rejected. Underwriter reputation does not affect the relationship between return on equity and underpricing. This is because the ROE of a company is a ratio that's owned by a company without the intervention of underwriters, with the result that ROE is a profitability ratio can affect underpricing without interact with the underwriter reputation. Hypothesis 9 is rejected. Underwriter reputation does not affect the relationship between financial leverage and underpricing. This is because the debt of a company is a ratio that comes from the ratio of debt to equity owned by a company that is also without intervention from underwriter. And hypothesis 10 is also rejected. Underwriter reputation does not affect relationship between firm size and underpricing. This financial information will only change either increasing or decreasing due to operational activities and performance by the company concerned. The size of an issuer's company will not increase when working with reputable underwriters. This is the last section. Here are our conclusion, implication, and limitation. We suggest improvements for future researchers is adding other variables they are suspecting affect underpricing, especially those that are external factors and non-financial factors. The process of determining the offering price will be great to discuss in the next research. Thank you for the attention and I apologize for any mistakes. Good day.